Hi. Yesterday, I did a post on my Facebook profile saying that I had taken a decision to boycott the batch reunion of my batch at St. Stephen's of 1995, where I took a degree in mathematics. And the reason is that I'm very pained and concerned at the fact that no one from my batch has really come out to make a stand against the assault on democracy and the rabid communalization of our society in India under the Modi regime. Um, that post got a lot of attention, and I think that attention could only have come from my batch. And so, but at the same time, I do feel that considering that I have, said that I'm concerned about the lack of civility in our public life. What I did was not exactly a shining example of civility. And when you're concerned about the social fabric, then it's ironic that this concern is being raised by me in the moment when I stand opposed and having antagonized or in feeling antagonized against my entire batch. But I believe that it had to be done because if educated people don't stand up and at least face up to what is happening in India, then we are going to lose the very already narrow and fast narrowing window of opportunity to stem what is going on, at least insofar as our democracy and our constitutional values are concerned, and also the basic stability and cohesiveness of our society. If the educated, empowered, wealthy elite is not going to see this moment for what it is, and this is the Hindus, Sikhs, and Jains. I don't mention the Muslims at all because they are not in a position to now start speaking up. They immediately get targeted. If we from the majority community or those who have been sort of given a certain leeway under the umbrella of the majority community, if we don't all recognize this moment for what it is, what India is teetering on the verge of, then it will soon be too late. And the reason that I'm saying this is that everyone is feeling the heat of censorship in every field. Just the other day, it was in the news that an Italian professor of Hindi had been stopped from entering the country after she flew here. Sonam Wangchuk has been put in a military jail. I myself, last year, when the Prime Minister and his cronies inaugurated a temple in Ayodhya and had this huge drive in which they were talking about freedom after 1,000 years of enslavement under the Mughals. When I spoke out against that, because that is not how I view our history, because I did not feel that the whole movement was justified, and that I did not feel it was right. I thought it was very wrong to break someone else's house of worship, and that is even worse to build a temple as an exercise of arrogance and assertion of communal sentiment. That is not what worship or any religion is supposed to be about. And I certainly don't believe that India was, it wasn't even technically oppressed by the Mughals for 1,000 years. They were not here for 1,000 years. But I believe that the culture that we have, what we call Indian culture, which is the culture that I live in, is the result of an organic evolution with many peoples that came to India, many languages, many faiths, many practices, many arts. And this led to the evolution of a syncretic culture of which I am a part. Everything that I am wearing, chudidar kurta, the henna in my hair, the music that I listen to and perform, Hindustani classical music. I mean, none of this would be what it is if it weren't for the Mughals, if it weren't for the Delhi Sultanate. Everything that we call Sanskriti is not restricted to what is written in the Veda or chanting the Vedas. And everything that has come after the Vedas has been very much influenced by all these many other languages and philosophies of existence, ideas of God and the sacred, political systems, peoples, races, ethnicities. And it's, well, so the point is that when this happened, I went on a fast in my own house for the 3 days that this entire drama was reaching its pitch before with the religious sort of ceremony that was being conducted by the Prime Minister over there. I went on a fast in my own house alone, and I went on my YouTube channel and I explained in a 40-minute discourse as to why I didn't agree with what was going on, why it was extremely painful for me, why this is not what Hinduism is. And I was attacked. Amit Malviya, the head of the BJP IT cell, he did a post on Twitter saying that, Manishankar Iyengar's daughter is saying this, and that was a dog whistle to all the entire Sangh Parivar gang to get after you. That's how their IT cell works. They get a signal from on top and then they all get into the act. One of these BJP tattoos who actually lives where my parents live. I don't live there. I've been married for many years and live in another place in my own home. They issued a letter from the Residents Welfare Association saying that both my father and I should be kicked out. And although I didn't live there, I was very concerned as to what was going to happen to the people living in that house, which included small children. I got, abused in this very, very disgusting sexual language that these people use. And it was did not stop at me, whether it was my mother, whether it was my child, my daughter. And we had to go to lawyers. There's cases being filed, threats of police action. So this is one person sitting in their home, and the accusations are that this is seditious, this is spreading communal hatred. So it's I don't think that anybody can be in any doubt, and this started with Amit Malviya's post on Twitter. My own post on YouTube was up for almost 48 hours before this tamasha started. So or it may even have been a week before, because I went on the fast, I recovered from it, and then I said goodbye to my son. He's going back to boarding school, and it was that morning that all of this broke out. So I don't think that anybody can be in any doubt as to how hostile and aggressive the environment in India has been made by the Modi regime against anybody who does not agree with what they're doing. And the people who are actually now the cadres for carrying out and implementing this are not one of you BJP supporters and lifelong Sanghis who were among my batchmates at St. Stephen's College. If you actually study the Modi cabinet, his government, apart from Jai Shankar, who has now been sidelined, there were no educated people around, and we all know what kind of level of education the Prime Minister himself has. People who were educated and part of this whole BJP scene, you don't see them anywhere today, even if they've been given Rajya Sabha seats and all. And I'm in touch with some of them. I send them my stuff. When they hear this, they'll know who they are. I want them to know how disgusted I am with what they have allowed to happen in this country. You know who you are. I'm speaking straight at you. These people are all educated. I think some of them even went to St. Stephen's. Many of them are Padma Vibhushan awardees, big in the arts, this and that. And they are nowhere in the Modi regime. They count for nothing. They've been given that post because they were, thank you, you supported our cause. Now shut up and sit down. The cadres, people like Amit Malviya and all, Amit Malviya is already like very unimpressive insofar as nobody is going to describe him as an intellectual or even as a good person. He's a disgusting person. And he has daughters, but he has got no shame about setting all these disgusting people onto other women. But it's not just him. When I go to visit, I have to travel into Uttarakhand quite regularly. And I see close up, the foot soldiers of the Modi regime. And they're all these very, very criminal looking thugs wearing orange bandanas. And they're driving around on tempos, blaring loud music. Or they put these Jai Shri Ram flags on their two-wheelers and they're driving up and down. And they're doing this in the middle of the day. So they clearly have no job. They are unemployed. During the Kawar Yatra days, they are out in full force. And that's their big celebration. So you get a very good idea of exactly what they are. There's blaring this music, which sounds like a DJ is playing it. And apart, if you listen very closely, you can hear the name of Ram or of Shiva. But otherwise, it's just music that a young crowd of jobless boys would want to dance to. It's very breathy and pumping, very sexualized. Exactly the sort of thing that teenagers would just go for. So it's very clear what they're trying to attract. They're sipping something out of bottles, sipping something out of a Coke bottle. It looks very much like they're taking something, some alcohol or something. And it's not only during the Kawar Yatra days, even otherwise, it's almost a week doesn't pass where they've set up a tent somewhere and it's supposed to be a langar. But there's just young boys there. There's this loud music, aggressive music blaring from it. These are the people. And these people are going to stop at nothing. In some ways, they're even more dangerous than Modi, Shah and Doval. They'll just kill you. They'll just rape you, whatever. I mean, they're sick. They're being nurtured all over the country. The RSS and the Sangh Parivar in any case had these widespread shakhas. So they have a lot of grassroots mobilization. And they have everything in place to actually build this, and it can be all over India. It's certainly there in the north. They're pushing their way into the south. And once these people are able to have full sway, there's going to be no looking back. I mean, if you people, and I'm talking to my batchmates, you don't have the courage to speak out. You think it's not cool. It's not cool to speak out. You're telling yourselves that, what Suranya is doing is just going to antagonize everyone further. If you think that this is not the right time, when those thugs are in power, there's going to be no chance. This is your last chance. Now, what I have also learned crossing this regime and also dealing with it, because part of my work involved helping Indian families whose children are snatched abroad. So this requires that you petition the government, try to get our government to speak to the foreign government, to intervene, to find a home in India for the child, if not with its parents, and so on and so forth. And what I have learned is that these people are also cowards. And if you shout, not those thugs who are drinking and doing these so-called yatras and these langars, but Modi and Shah and this lot at the moment, they are cowards in the sense that because they're bullies, if you stand up, they do step back. And if you who the upper middle class BJP educated supporters with lots of money abroad, if you stand up and make clear that you do not believe that a certain line should be crossed, then the regime is going to back off. Because I think that, these people, they do realize that they are still not in a position where they can just get their thugs in. They themselves realize that their own lack of talent, lack of background. I mean, they literally have people in cabinet who just don't know how to speak to anyone, who don't know anything. And although people can learn on the job, uh, because Modi operates in such an autocratic way, it's very clear to them you are not supposed to take the initiative at all. So some of them, they don't even have the guts to give meetings. They're just sitting there waiting for orders from above. So the BJP, I mean, and this has not helped them. I mean, you can see, like take a relationship like the Trump and Modi relationship, which has broken down. One of the main reasons it's broken down is that, someone like Modi simply doesn't have the demeanor or the social know-how to actually develop any kind of relationship with a Western head of state. And, that in that case, the Pakistanis would be way ahead. So apart from other things, they don't have the people, they're not cultivated in that way at all. So if you, this educated upper class that believes that the BJP is what India needs, if you draw some lines for this pair of Modi and Shah, it will actually be effective. They will then respect that line. That's where we are. That's why you need to be involved. And it's not enough for you to just tell each other that what's going on is not good. I mean, and, here I'm more than anything else, what is frustrating is that those who believe in principle and all these values just don't have, just don't find themselves able to get involved. I mean, firstly, you're really going to have to get involved and be quite open and public about it. In what way? You don't think it's convenient to go and stand in a dharna somewhere? Fine. But, nowadays there are many ways of expressing your point of view without having to even leave your home. So you've got to figure out how you're going to do it. And then the other thing is that regardless of what you believe about whether India should have a hawkish foreign policy, or whether you believe that the Muslim community has been either complicit or too indulgent to terrorism and all the other things that form part of the worldview of the Hindu right, I think that even you as educated people, you need to accept that there has to be a certain amount of basic peace and stability for any society to do well. Even in America, America may be a very violent state and all the wars and all that it has started, but those wars are 2 continents away and an ocean away. America is quite careful to try and keep things relatively calm out there. There's a reason for it. Even if you're only motivated by greed and self-interest, peace is basic. And the way in which things are being conducted by these people in government today, they don't have any education, and they have been fed on this diet of the Hindu right wing, which since even the days of the freedom struggle, which was basically to that you have to be extreme. It's all about fighting. It's all about fighting. It's all about killing. It's all about being a revolutionary. It doesn't have any of the sober things that you need, and the sensible things, the restraint and the patience that you need to have a viable society. And they aren't able to keep any relationships. It's not just the relationship between Trump and Modi that has spectacularly broken down, but even Nepal, which Modi visited as the only other Hindu nation in the world, terrible relationship with them. They don't know how to make friends or keep friends. They only know how to bully and push and provoke. And you saw a total breakdown of things in Manipur. It's terrible there. You start on this path of mindless, thuggish bullying and pushing people, and it ends with women just being paraded naked. I mean, that was a shame on all of humanity, but on everyone. And the biggest shame was on Modi Shah. And then they don't have the courage to go out and speak and deal with it, because they don't know what's hit them. These people are genuinely reeling. They don't know what the red lines should be. They need someone to educate them. They need to see that people are actually, talking about having a certain amount of decency, a certain line that you don't cross. It's not just some, left-wing Gandhian fantasy, but that this is how educated, civilized people with some experience of the world, this is what they all say. Genuinely, we are dealing with people in power right now. And, don't forget that in your day, when we were in college, and, you were supporting people like Advani and Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Sushma Swaraj and Arun Jaitley and all the rest of the Mukul Rohatgi, you are supporting all of these people in the BJP parivar. These people have all been pushed out or sidelined, or they no longer, unfortunately, they've passed away. But they were all sidelined before they passed away. Look at what Yashwant Singh is saying today about the BJP. Now, some of the stuff that he says is way out. I'll hand you that, Yashwant Sinha. But the thing is that, it shows how an insider of those days from the BJP is extremely angry and disillusioned with them. And I don't think it's just his personal ambition that is speaking there. People are genuinely repulsed within the BJP at the poor moral character and incompetence, dangerous incompetence of Narendra Modi. So, okay, I'm going to stop here because I'll keep speaking to you. But this is the overall picture. This is the reason why I have decided to do this boycott. And I'm on a personal level, I feel sorry that I'm, letting the few of you down who reached out about this reunion. But it had to be done. You guys, I was president of the debating society. And at the farewell, I was presented with a cup from the students for the bold and the beautiful. Okay, so I think that you know me, and if I am so upset about something, and if I have faced what I'm telling you that I have faced from the regime, you must stop and think, and you must engage. This is your duty, and this is my duty. And I again apologize. At a personal level, it sounds as I'm standing there and telling you all that I'm better than you. I have no right to say that on an individual level. I have not forgotten the kindness and the friendship that many of you have shown me, even those of you who are big BJP supporters in my maths class in particular. And in a way, yes, I have shown myself to be a small person on a personal level by using this, what is supposed to be a reunion between friends to make this political point. But it had to be done. You have to think about these things. I'm going to spend the next 12 days talking to you about it. And I hope to see you all here. Thanks.